just trying to, sometimes you got to depress, you know what I mean? Sometimes you just got to do some things kind of set you out there, So I'm back and I just want to wish everybody well. I hope that your family is well. I hope that you are well. So tonight we're going to be talking about the double-headed eagle, that 33rd degree symbol, what it means. And this particular lecture is going to come to you by Brother Salim Akeem. He's a member of Prince Hall Grand Lodge out of New York, if I'm not mistaken. He and I are very close friends. We are really connected. We've been really chit-chatting up for a long time. Please, when you come on, hit the thumbs up button for me. I certainly would appreciate it. So we're going to get right into this, man. It's been a minute. I tell you, it's really been a minute, but I'm back. And hopefully that this particular lecture that I'm gonna read it off to you tonight. I mean, it's pretty neat and definitely gives you a explanation in regards to the 33rd degree. It gives you that explanation in regards to the double-headed eagle. What does that represent when one ascends to the highest mountaintop in Freemason, that 33rd degree? So we're going to talk about that. We're going to get into that. I want to welcome everybody who's coming on. I'm sorry, it's kind of late on the East Coast, It's still kind of early on this side. But we're going to get into that. Hopefully you can get something out of it. Brother Salim Akeem is a dear friend of mine. He's a Prince Hall Mason. He sent me some information. He said, look, let me tell you, this brother has sent me so much information. I would say now I have close to 100 lectures that he's personally given to me. He has more, but he's personally gifted me probably 100 lectures in my email account right now. It's quite a few. I know that. And I've saved them. And tonight we're going to talk about the double-headed eagle. So I'm going to read to you his lecture. So just bear with me as I go through it. I think it's going to be a one that you can kind of say, oh, okay, this is that double-headed eagle. This is why it is representing the highest crown point for the 33rd degree. And then, if you got questions or anything like that, definitely you can tune in. You can give me a call or whatever, and you can definitely ask your questions. But tonight we're going to be talking about that double-headed eagle. Greetings, Quiet Storm. Rolando, what's up? Mickey, what's going on with you? I think that's Jalen. What's happening with you? I'm glad you're able to come in and spend a little time with me. I certainly appreciate it. What's going on, Sylvester? What's happening? It's been a minute since I've been on. And so tonight, this is what we're going to talk about, that 33rd degree. I mean, a lot of times, brothers who are 33rds, they really don't want to talk about it. Now, my personal opinion, the reason they don't want to talk about it is what's going on, Jason? How you doing, brother? The reason they don't want to talk about the 33rd, because I don't think a lot of them are very well educated on the 33rd. I'm going to say that again. This is my personal belief, only because I'm a 33rd. And when I meet most 33rds, they don't want to talk about the degree. They don't. I don't know why, but when I greet a brother and I know he's a 33rd, and I want to, have a little conversation in regards to the degree Q&A, they don't want to do that. And my ideal is because they're not educated on it, they pay for the degree, they got it, and they feel, well, I have arrived. And it's not like that at all. The 33rd degree is so much more than just paying for the degree and you got it. It is just so much more than that. I would say in some jurisdictions, it may be more than just that, but some I know of. They break you off, Sovereign Grand Commander, go through the process, and you're a 33rd. And I think that is very sad for a person to hold such a title of being an honorary 33rd GIG, Grand Inspector General, but he doesn't know anything. He doesn't talk about the degree. He can't lecture on the degree. I think that does his Supreme Council a disservice. So come on in tonight. What's going on, Charles? How you doing? We're going to get into this degree right here, this 33rd degree, double-headed eagle. So this double-headed eagle is a symbolic of two realities, a multi-dimensional being, the Holy Empire of Rome and the Byzantine Empire, called the Eastern Roman Empire, often uses this symbol in their dual sovereign power in all-encompass controlling the East and the West. They got this symbol from the Sumerians, who used a double-headed eagle to represent the soul because it could soar through the different levels of the atmosphere. This eagle became associated with the strength, power, and wisdom and freedom. The eagle ability to soar high in the sky was believed to be a direct connection to the heavens, just as in our transcension from the level of time. Our soul soars up through the seven heavens. And if you read the Quran, Surah 17:44, in part, the seven heaven and the earth and whatever is in them exalt him. Okay, in Freemasonry, the double-headed eagle was adopted by the Scottish Rite Mason for the same reason as described. It is also symbolizing an elevation. What is this elevation, you ask? It is an elevation to the 33rd degree. You have reached the mountaintop in Freemasonry. And what does this mountaintop in Freemasonry symbolizes? It symbolizes the death and rebirth of an eagle. An eagle at the age of 40 goes through a death and rebirth process. At this age, he has a difficult decision to make: either ascend to a higher mountaintop and begin the rebirthing process, or die. So at the age of 40, that eagle has to make a decision as to ascend to a higher mountaintop, or in the process of having a rebirth, or it's going to die. The eagle, it says, as an eagle ages at the age of 40, goes through this death and rebirth process. At this age, he has a difficult decision to make. There are eagles hit his beak. So he hits his beaks against the rocks and breaks it. Then he waits for his new beaks to grow. Then he pulls his claws with his beak. And when his new claws grow out, he plucks his old feathers. After 5 months, the eagle recovers and can live for another 40 years. And this is his rebirth, being born again and renewed. So the eagle goes through a process of breaking his beak. And after he breaks his beak, it regrows. After it regrows, he has to do a thing with his claws. He has to defeather himself. And that's the rebirth of an eagle. I can hear your questions when you ask. You sure can. You can hear my question when I ask. Why does an eagle have to go through this process? And what has the eagle has to do with Freemasonry? It is because his nails has grown long and can no longer be so flexible that it cannot easily grab its prey. Also, the long and sharp beak becomes very curvy, so it could not necessarily piece its prey or peck its prey easily, while the wings become heavy because the feathers become so thick and attached to its breast that it becomes difficult to fly. This is why the eagle has to have a rebirth of his beak, its claws, and its feathers, okay? The symbolism of all of this, the eagle is you as a 33rd, refers to in Psalms chapter 103, verse 5. It says, who satisfies your desires with good things so that it says, who satisfies your desires with good things so that your youth is renewed like an eagle. Once again, you go to Psalms 103, verse 5. Okay, greetings. What's happening to everybody who's coming on? I'm talking about that double-headed eagle. Okay, this was a lecture that was shared to me. It says the feathers are your oaths and obligation from the preceding degrees. The beaks are the mouth you promised and swore, made a covenant with God. The claws are your grips of your lessons. Once again, this breaks down that eagle. It says that the feathers are your oath in your obligation from the preceding degrees. It says that the beak of the mouth in the promises and swore, in the promises that you swore with, in the promises that you swore was a covenant with God. That's the beak. And it says the claws is the grip of the lessons. So that is the standards of the double-headed eagle and what it represents. Okay. Then it says to overstand this, most Masons will never change because they never took time to understand what they belong to. They never took time to research the symbols and allegories and lessons in Freemasonry. They become bogged down. They become stuck and unable to progress. It is said that change occurs in Freemasonry at the 33rd degree level, and I can agree with the assessments. However, I have heard some recently elevated 33rd Masons state that they now belong to the elite. Hear what I'm saying? When a 33rd, when a person who's been elevated to the 33rd degree, they may assume and think that they are among the elitists when they're really not. They have yet to even understand the lesson of the double-headed eagle and why it is a representation of the 33rd degree and the lessons that it teach. Okay, so it says how foolish they are. They missed the entire lessons. They were elevated to the mountaintop as an eagle, born again, rebirth, renewed. My question to those of you who exposes that belief in which you are now an elitist, what do you belong to? Do you belong to the elitist politicians, politics, education, ruling class, the intellectual class? What elite class now that you belong to that you are 33rd? Okay, that's the question you have to ask yourself. Now that you are 33rd and you think that you're an elitist, what elite class you belong to? You know? And then it goes on to say this, which I think is very interesting. It says, check out Psalms 8, verse 5. It says, you have made them a little lower than the angels and crowned them with glory and honor. So as a 33rd, you are crowned with glory and honor. And that's supposed to be based upon your activities in the preceding degrees. Okay, it's supposed to be based upon your activity in the preceding degrees. Most 33rds do nothing but shell out money to get their 33rds. That's my personal opinion based upon what I personally know. Okay, it's not something somebody told me. All right, so check this out. It says, neither verses sounds like David nor Jesus were talking about being an elite to reach the mountaintop of the kingdom of God. Of all the hidden secrets revealed to those elevated, was being an elite one of them? No. Out of all the things that are taught in Freemasonry, being an elitist was never one of those things that was taught in any lessons in Freemasonry that I've come across. All right. Then it says, back to the symbolism of the double-headed eagle. Okay. It says the eagle is a symbol. The eagle is a symbol of the phoenix and the scorpion, and all three are symbols of spirituality. Okay, so you have the double-headed eagle, all right, and the scorpion and the phoenix. All three of these represents three spiritualities. Okay, the scorpion rules the genital area, right? And it's meant to raise the sexual energy up through the 33 vertebrae of your spine to activate your pineal gland at 100% of your brain. This is when you are born again in Freemasonry. This is the esoteric teachings that should be given to you, or you should study along your works and the GIG. Okay. Then it says, this is why the eagle was chosen as the illuminating crown above the head of the 33rd Mason. All right. When the lessons are learned, you become a multi-dimensional being, able to function in the material and spiritual world. So in other words, to sum this whole thing up, once you begin this journey as a 33rd Mason, once you begin this journey, you begin to look at that 33rd crown that you're going to be given. There's a process with that. There's a journey that you go through. But what happens is most 33rds don't understand the journey that they went through as they began to ascend to the mountaintop of Freemasonry. There, when you ascend that high up as a 33rd degree Mason, your faculties are supposed to change. Everything about you is supposed to be enlightened in such a way that you are able to elevate those that are around you. But I'll tell you what, if you don't believe me, talk to most 33rds. Can you tell me about the 33rd degree? If you know another 33rd Mason, ask him, can you tell me about this? What is so interesting about this degree? I didn't say divulge any secrets or anything in the initiation process. I said, just tell me about it. And in the process, she should be able to be illuminating to you to describe the degree work in such a way that he doesn't divulge anything. He should be able to break it down just like Brother Solomon just did. He should be able to just get into that degree and break it down in such a way that it's going to be enlightened to you, to espouse you to become a 33rd. Because those lessons before that, those lessons in those lower degrees are supposed to enhance your understanding of the first three. Hear me again. Those lessons as you go up into these particular degree work, whether it's on the Scottish Rite or York Rite, supposed to enhance you in such a way of understanding those first three lessons. Because in actuality, when you break that whole thing down and begin to look at Freemasonry, those first three degrees, or may I say those first two degrees, that enter apprentice, that fellowcraft, and then once you have mastered those two, you are then considered a master Mason. Although in the preceding degrees and those degrees that come afterwards, those degrees elaborate on the first two so intricate that it heightens your lesson plan. It heightens your attention to want to know more in regards to Freemasonry, be it on the York Rite or Scottish Rite. But if you are that person who strictly are going to go to York Rite side, that's a spiritual level, okay? Because you're dealing with the Old Testament, you're dealing with the Torah, you're dealing with those elements and understanding that side. But when you flip that and you're going to go straight to the Scottish Rite side, that's the philosophy side of things. That's the astrology side of things. That thing deals with so much more than it is given to you as you go through them. I would tell any brother who's looking to become a 33rd or even a 32nd Sublime Prince, please take your time. Go through these degrees and learn the lessons that they're going to expound upon you in your life works. Because as I've just broken down that double-headed eagle, there's a process in rebirth to elevate you, to open that pineal gland so you won't be so caught up in just the material things, but have a better understanding of the dimension of spirituality. That's a fact. And what I've learned in the process, I've been a 33rd now since 2002. I was elevated in New York, okay? As a matter of fact, it was Buffalo, New York, 2002. My Sovereign Grand Commander was the most recent Sovereign Grand Commander was Esau E. Baxter out of Mattapan, Boston. Big shout out to Boston, And man, I tell you, that degree, and during my initiation process, it really taught me a lot. In everything that you do in Masonry, everything is death and resurrection. Everything is about having an understanding of spirituality in the material world. I can actually say that. If you are one who's a Freemason and you begin to really look at it, it's about death, resurrection, material and spiritual. It's that journey. But you have to be competent enough to break that down for yourself. Nobody's going to come and tell you. Nobody's going to come and give it to you. You got to go get it for yourself, because most individuals don't study Masonry once they become a Mason. They feel they have arrived. They feel this is it. Most brothers think, oh, I'm a Mason, I'm good now, without understanding what are they really part of. You hear so much about, oh, the Illuminati this, the Illuminati that. But you got to go and look at the etymology of words as a Mason, in the obligation that you take in what you're saying. And most of us don't do that. I didn't do it in the beginning. It took me some time to be able to go in and say, let me see, what did I really say? And can I uphold this oath and obligation that I made to these brothers and to myself and to God? Can I uphold that? And a lot of times, a lot of us miss the mark in the process. But most of us who think because you're 33rd, now you're among the elite. You're supposed to be, but most of us are not. And when I say the elite, I'm talking about one who is ascended to the mountaintop of Freemasonry, Grand Inspector General. You're supposed to be that illuminating person who's able to go to those in the preceding degrees and be able to give them lectures, and to be able to lecture to them and to be able to give them illuminating light and understanding the process that they're getting ready to go through as they ascend to become a Grand Inspector General. I really been trying to link up with you, Pops, on these things. Hey, okay. All right. So if you're Deborah Johnson, if you want to hook up with me, do you have my phone number? And if you don't, I'm going to give it to you. You can give me a call. All right. Peace and blessings to you, Jamal. What's going on with you? I hope everybody's doing fine. And I hope that you're able to get something out of this. So as we venture off into the 33rd, I'll tell you a good movie that you can watch. Rings, I think it's called Rings of the Lords of the Ring. Okay. Most of you know that a 33rd individual wears the ring either on his pinky finger, or he wears it on his index finger. And there's a reason. What's going on, Grandmaster Larry Diamond? There's a reason why we wear it on our pinky finger. There's a reason why you wear it on your index finger. There are reasons why I'm not going to tell you the reason why, though. I'm not going to tell you why. I'm not going to tell you why. But I would tell you, as a 33rd Mason, you should understand why you wear that ring. There's only 2 rings that you receive as a Mason. All right. There are only 2 rings that you're supposed to receive as a Mason. One is that of the Lodge of Perfection, LOP, and the next one is that of the 33rds. Those are the only 2 rings that you're supposed to actually receive, because those are class rings. Those are class rings. Would love to build with you? I sent you a friend request. Raheem Lindsay is my name. All right. Raheem Lindsay is your mentor. Oh, okay. All right. I'm gonna check and see in regards to finding you in my friend request. I'll do that. All right. I'll certainly do that. So definitely, as you begin to look into that 33rd, it is so much happening in that. And I would say the Lords of the Ring is one of those trilogies that really amplifies the ring and what in the symbolism behind the ring, because that ring does supposed to possess an element of authority in a sense, because you are elevated now. You're supposed to be on the mountaintop of Freemasonry, of 33rds. You are, whether you wear the white 33rd crown or whether you wear the purple 33rd crown. Some jurisdictions have the red 33rd crown. But you're supposed to be amongst those brothers who are supposed to be intellectually expound to illuminate other brothers. But I've come to find out that everybody ain't ready for the conversation. I like having conversation with 33rds. One of the best conversations I've had with a 33rd comes from brother illustrious Eric Sutton. One of the best conversations I've had. The brother makes you think. He makes you think. We agree to disagree, but the conversation is to expound upon the knowledge and information that is passed down to you when you become a 33rd. Because there's information, it's information in all degrees if you're willing to take them and apply them, but you have to go through the process to get them. That's truth. I'm a candidate to receive my 33rd in Houston, Texas in September. You have enlightened me so much in my journey. Well, I tell you what, my brother, congratulations to you in September of this year. If there's anything that I can add value to you in your journey, let me know, reach out to me, and I'll do that. I will certainly do that. What Supreme Council are you getting your 33rd elevation through. And congratulations. It doesn't even matter, but congratulations. I'm just curious. Nothing other than that, my brother. Nothing other than that. You know, because when you get that 33rd, brother, if it's done right, you're gonna be like, I got that. That's gonna be you right there. You're gonna get that triple top. You're gonna get that triple top, brother. You're gonna get that delta with that 3-3 setting in the top. It's gonna, you're gonna be like, yes, I got that. Now I can expound upon some things. So the next time we talk, whenever we meet, we're gonna have that conversation. And it won't be one of challenging, it will be one of enlightenment. Okay. I won't challenge you, brother. I would have an enlightened conversation with you. I will pass on information to you like it was passed on to me. So when you get that 33rd, Jason, when you get it, reach back out to me and I will share information with you. Okay. I will do that. I will share with you my experience and you can share with me yours and see if they somewhat match, because all 33rd elevations are somewhat a little different, but yet they're the same, because you are going to go on a journey, my brother. You're going to go on a journey. So when you hit it, let me know. Hit me back. I secretly don't know. Is that sincere? Oh, okay. I sincerely don't know all that much about masonry, but after I met a Mason, I was like, sure. Read the Torah and the Quran and read the Gospels. Absolutely. So yeah, I'm guessing masonry gets pretty funny. It does. It does. But you know, the greatness behind that is that a lot of brothers miss the point. They really miss it, including my brothers who are nobles. I'm going to say this, including my brothers who are nobles, those camel riders. We like to have fun, but most nobles, they think it's about the fun house, and it's nothing. Masonry has no fun house. I was told that when I was coming in. Oh, you're a Shriner, you're in the fun house. Now, masonry has no fun house. Masons, or the system of masonry, is like a web of information. Okay. Now it's what you do with the information of enlightenment. That's the question. It's what you do with the information of enlightenment, because Freemasonry has no playhouse. Absolutely nothing in Freemasonry has a playhouse. I know most of you, like I said, the Shriners. Oh, that's the playhouse. I know there's a little intention, you know. Have you stopped by the Well of Zim Zim? Have you stopped by the Oasis? I get all of that. I get the lingo and I enjoy the back and forth. I do. But the seriousness of the journey to become a nobleman, one who's created a nobleman, is fantastic. Just as it is for those who receive the 33rd crown. It is a crown that you expound to have in such a way you're like, yes, all right, man, I'm here with these brothers who are illuminated in masonry, so I can get this. I'm able to soar with the eagles now. But you got to remember, an eagle don't last long if he doesn't break his beak. An eagle doesn't last long if he doesn't get rid of those long nails that are no more, that are not able to grab the food anymore. An eagle doesn't last long when it keeps on piling feathers after feathers. He have to go and remove those feathers so he can fly and soar. So there's a rebirth in that eagle. And if you're not able to have that rebirth as a 33rd, then it's for nothing. It's absolutely for nothing. But I want to encourage you, those of you who are going through that process of getting that 33rd and being elevated, man, enjoy the moment, learn from it. And if I can be of an assistance to you, hey, give me a shout out. Let me know, and I'll hit you back and I'll send you information because it was sent to me. It makes no difference for me to have all of these lectures that my dear brother Solomon has shared with me in such a way that I can't share them with you. Now, if he tells me, hey, Hawkins, no, I may have to back up, but I'm quite sure, him being the man that he is, that it's okay if you really want to become enlightened in Freemasonry. And also, this brother's an author. Go look him up. He's an author. I mean, the brother's written quite a few different books on Freemasonry that is going to enlighten you. I mean, he's that guy. He's dedicated to Freemasonry and wants to share the information that he's come across out of the over 40 years of Masonry that he's been involved with. And that's the uniqueness of a Freemason. I didn't say a Prince Hall Mason. I didn't say international, modern free, PHO or PHA or John, whatever. I said that's the uniqueness of a Mason, one who's willing to enlighten you and share information with you that's going to help you become better in this journey that you're on. And this is what that brother has done for me, period, bar none. What's the name again of the author? His name is Solomon Salim. I'm going to spell his name out for you. It is Saliym. Last name Hakiym. His books are on Amazon. You can find his books on Amazon. Go support the. I'm telling you, his books are going to really enlighten and inspire you. He's an author. He's a black author. I said specifically he's a black author for a reason. I ain't gonna lie to you, because I want to support him. I want his books to be sold amongst us so we can see what we're saying in regards to Freemasonry. I know there are other books out there, but I like promoting what we sell. I like promoting what we write, what we put out. I mean, I'm just being honest with you, you know? For sure. Absolutely. That's me, man. There's no need of having authors such as this brother and not promote him. It doesn't make any sense, you know? And I believe because he sent me the books and I have his books and I've shared them with you here before. And his books are inspiring. His books are enlightening. His books are illuminating. His books are all of that because I learn when I read his books. I do. I get a lot out of them. And to my brother Jason Alexander, you know, he came by this last weekend. He shot through. Or was it last weekend or weekend? But he came through. I think it was weekend before last. He came through, hung out with me. We had an awesome time. I really enjoyed him coming by. Whenever anybody comes by my home, they're going to leave with a book. They come, they see, hey, they leave with a book. I don't want a person to come around me and I don't inspire them in some type of way to give them something. I want to be able to say, brother, here's a book. I read it and I think it's going to be good for you. So you read it. And when you get done with it, pass it on to the next person. And this is what I like about these lectures. So if you're interested in this particular lecture about the double-headed eagle, you can email me. Brother Larry Diamond, if you're in the house tonight, you can put up my email for me. It's going to be jgjafam@yahoo.com. Hit me there. Let me know you want this particular lecture. I will forward this lecture over to you. But you got to let me know don't even worry about it. I'll forward it over to you. And hopefully those who are requesting that lecture, you are a Mason. Because to read it and not really understanding the process is not going to do you any good. But I will share the lecture. I'm just going to be I will share the lecture. Which one would you recommend? A new wishful master or a worthy patron? Which one would I recommend to a new? Which one would you recommend to a new worthy matron or worthy? His books. If you are a new Mason, I would encourage you to get his books. I would, because what they're going to do, they're going to flip the switch. They're going to turn the light on and they're going to be like, you're going to have that moment of surreal to where it's going to be like, oh, I got it. It's good to know the Q&As in Masonry. It is. So when you greet and meet a brother, it's good to know the Q&As, bar none. That is the basic foundation of Freemasonry is the Q&As. So learn the Q&As. That's a great thing. But what I'm talking about right now is that when you are able to expound upon the Q&As in such a way to give a lecture is even better. And when you ascend to these previous degrees, as York Rite or Scottish Rite, that's even better. My brother Calvin Bates, Brumont, I'm sorry, he gonna beat me up. He go like, God damn, Hawkins, how long you been knowing me? You're messing my name up. How long you been knowing me, brother? Yeah, he gonna really get on me. But brother Calvin Brumont is a Scottish Rite Mason, and the brother has tons of lectures, just tons of lectures. He's been here before. We've talked before. I'm looking forward to having him back so he can also lecture again in regards to the Scottish Rite degree work. He's that guy. And brother AJ can walk the floor when it comes to Scottish Rite Masonry. Brother AJ Jones, he's that dude. And so I'm proud. I'm happy. I'm overjoyed to know individuals who's able to enlighten and inspire me. I'm telling you, these guys, they set a fire under me. They do. And everybody needs that person in their journey that's going to inspire them to learn the craft and how the system of Freemasonry actually carries on in today's society. Plain and simple. I'm just tuning in. Can you talk about the 18th degree? Yes, I can. Hold on. Just a second. I'll be right back. Give me just a moment. I am trying to find, I have a notebook with lectures in it. So bear with me just a moment while I look and see. And yeah, I would definitely talk about that 18th degree. Absolutely. So give me just a second here. Let me be able to get this closed back up. Yeah, I'll talk about that degree. Absolutely. I wasn't prepared to do it, but you asked, so I gotta go in and find my information now. Golly, I didn't see that one coming, brother. But I stuck my foot in my mouth when I told you I would talk about the 18th degree, and I don't mind doing that. So just work with me just for a second while I look and see if I can pull it up real quick. Let me see. I'm back. Let me see. Greetings, everybody. Most worshipful Universal Grand Lodge, Sleeves. What's going on? What's going on, Brother Dexter? How you holding up? So the brother asked me about the 18th degree. And yes, I could talk about the 18th degree. Give me just a second here. The 18th degree. The Knights of the Rose Cross, right? The 18th degree. There you go right there. That's the 18th degree right here. Boom. If you can see it, that's it right there, right? So the Knights of the Rose Cross. All right. So the really sum this particular degree up, the message of this degree reveals the new law of love. We should prepare a temple in our hearts where God can worship. So if you go into that particular degree, you will see where the pelican is taking upon themselves to feed their newborn, okay? And it's from that blood that is renewed, and he's passing it on. That degree right there is a beautiful degree. Once you get involved with it and begin to study that particular degree and what it means to you. Let me say, greetings, brother. Oh, Gilmore, okay. And what it means to you. A lot of us don't do that, as I've said before. A lot of us don't do that. What I have here, this is my personal study guide. And in this particular study guide here, it breaks down all of the degrees and gives a lecture on each degree. So I was able to go in and definitely pull up just a synopsis, just a small paragraph on what that degree is supposed to teach you. Now, what you're supposed to do in like manner is go into that particular degree and pull out that information. Okay? Pull that information out and see what it's worth. And I tell you, it's worth a lot. And that's, to be honest with you, it's worth a lot. The Scottish Rite degree itself is pretty special, you know, especially if you're dealing on the Scottish Rite side. It's pretty special. And a lot of us don't do it. Just like, take, for instance, the 10th degree, the master elect, all right? We learn in this degree that the person who violates his obligation, regardless of his station in life, will not go unpunished. That's just a brief synopsis of what the degree teaches. It teaches that when you violate your obligations, regardless of your station in life, listen to what it says, regardless of your station in life. It doesn't say regardless of your station in the lodge. It says your station in life. Your deed was not going unpunished because you violated the very thing that you said you wouldn't violate. Plain and simple. You know, so those degrees, these degrees that we get involved with on the philosophy side and on the spiritual side, is degrees to uplift you, to bring out a different dimension in understanding the degree work. Just as I was just going through the 33rd lecture that was given to me by my brother Salim Kakim, you know, it breaks it down, man. I'm telling you, go get his books. I'm telling you, it is full of great information. It's full of that. How are you doing, Wishful? Hey, I'm doing okay. Joshua, what's going on with you? I hope everything's well with you. Dexter, what's happening with you? Our state flag. Oh, okay. I'm going through the little chat here. Greetings, everybody who's popping in. I know it's late on the East Coast. It's kind of still a little early here on the West Coast. So tonight, if you go back and watch this, I was talking in regards to the double-headed eagle and what it represents as one who is ascended or to the Grand Inspector General. It is one of those degrees. It is one of those honorary degrees that when you go through the journey, it's supposed to be illuminating to you and opening up your pineal gland. But like I said, some will never, they ain't gonna even touch that. Talk about the 3 heads in the 30th degree. Hold on, let me see what I got. Man, y'all really made me break this book out tonight. Oh, the Knights of Kadash. Okay. So the 3 heads. So this degree, it says this degree portrays the tests and ceremonies, symbolizing the experience we must undergo in building the character in the so it says this degree portrays the tests and ceremonies that symbolizes the experience we must undergo in building character, okay, of our duties. So you who ascended into the Knights of Kadash, the 30th degree, if I'm not mistaken. I want to make sure I do this right. It is your duty. You're building upon your duty. So you're talking about those 3 heads. You're talking about the ego. You're talking about fanatism. And you're talking about, there's one more. There's one more. I can't think of it. I know the ego. I know I can't think of it, brother. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to y'all. It's superstition. There you go. Superstition is the 3rd one. Superstitions. Those are those 3 heads. Those are those 3 heads that you have to deal with in your duties, in your life journeys, because they're going to always be there. They're going to always be there. Those are the 3 heads. In my personal experience, in my personal journey, in my personal reading, I'm only going by that. Now, you may know something different. You may know something I don't know, but I'm just sharing with you what I know. Okay. And man, that one was escaping me. Fraternal greetings from the most wishful Prince of all Grand Lodge. I want to say Illinois. Greetings to you. How you doing, Eddie? Eddie that Don. Greetings to you. I hope you're doing well, my brother. Can you name the book and the author you just mentioned? If you're referring to this particular book, or you're referring to the one, The Lessons of Freemasonry, What They Won't Teach You, that is by Brother Salim. That is by Brother Salim. You can look him up on Amazon. Let me make sure I spell his name right for you. His name is spelled Salim, Hakim. That's Hakim. Okay? That's his name. You can find his book on Amazon. He's the author. He got quite a few books out there. Go out and support him. Great books. I mean, he sent me a copy of each of his books, and I've shared them with other brothers, and I've asked them to go get his book, support him. You know, he's an author. He's one of those brothers who don't mind putting his information out there, so you who are Masons can really indulge yourself in understanding the degree work. Let me see. You talked one time about Albert Pike trials in the book Behind the Lodge Door. That was a good show. I'm definitely trying to find that episode again. Oh, brother, I couldn't tell you. I'm gonna have to go back and see what I've said about Albert Pike and see where I can find it. Greetings, Brother McGee. How you doing? I see you too, Brother McGee. I see you too, Brother McGee. He's a member of he's the Whisper Master Faith Lodge, number 11 here in San Diego. A good brother. I'll tell you, whenever I need something, I know who to call. I mean, this brother has been on a journey this week. Greetings, how you doing? And thank you so much. I'm like, hey, thank you. I appreciate the donation there. I appreciate it. Can I pin this donation up? I think I can. Let me see. Can I pin this? I'm gonna see. Can I pin this donation? Thank you. I'm on my phone, so I don't know quite how to pin that up, but I want to say thank you for your donation. How's everybody doing today, by the way? I am a Scottish Rite Royal Arch. I'm a Scottish Rite Royal Arch, the same as you. Oh, okay. So the Scottish Rite Royal Arch degree and the York Rite degree are very similar. They're very similar. If you are a York Rite Mason, you know that there's supposed to be 3 tabernacles built. 3. 2 was destroyed. All right. So a 3rd tabernacle is supposed to be built. All right. A 3rd tabernacle is supposed to be built. I was trying to see how can I channel activity as moderator, pursue. Nope, none of that. I was trying to see how can I pin that up there. That donation you gave me, I appreciate it. I was trying to see how can I pin it up there. Is that Mocha? M-O-C-H-A? All right, I appreciate it. Mocha J. I hope I didn't butcher your name. I apologize. I sincerely do. But with that being said, the brother was asking about the Royal Arch and the Royal Arch on the York Rite and the Royal Arch on the Scottish Rite side. They're similar. But as I just said, you're looking to build the 3rd temple. Okay, there's a 3rd temple that's supposed to be built. If you read the York Rite lessons and you go through those veils, there's 9 arches you're supposed to go through. And once you've gone through those arches, you're going to understand you've entered the holies of holies. Now, on the Scottish Rite side, it's a little different, but yet the same. Okay, it's a little different, but yet the same. As a matter of fact, hold on. As a matter of fact, just a second. I'm going to share this with you. We're talking about the 14th degree on the Scottish Rite side. Which is the Royal Arch. Yeah, it's definitely very similar. Very similar. Okay. Very similar. Let me see what else I got here. Hold on. But any other questions right now? For LA. All right. Good evening. Court of, oh, really? All right. I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let me see what we got. Thank you, Brother Larry Diamond, for putting that contribution up there. I appreciate it. Greetings. Let's see. Thought of Sheba because, oh, really, is a famous part of the city. Oh, didn't know that. Didn't know that at all. Didn't know that was a famous part of the city. Elect 15 LOP. But there's a, the brother was asking in regards to the Royal Arch degree on the Scottish Rite side. But yes, the Elect 15 on the LOP side. That is correct. But I knew what he was asking. I knew what he was asking. So yes, it is also on the York Rite side. The Grand Elect Mason is the 14th degree, but also is the Royal Arch on the Scottish Rite side. Okay, you saying it's the 13th degree? Master of the 9. Oh, okay, Master. Okay. Master of the 9th. Master of the 9th. Brother, I'm looking at your language. I don't quite understand it, but greetings to you. Greetings, everybody. And thank you, Brother Dexter. I appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. See, here's the thing. A lot of us, I'm going to say this, a lot of us who are in these preceding degrees, we think we know it all. Nah, I'm not going to sit here and say I know it all. I'm not. The brother just here, Brother Dexter, he was like, the 13th degree, go back and take a look at it. You know, and that is how you learn. You listen to other individuals who has information, or maybe you missed something. So what's going on, Jarlene Washington? What's happening? Thanks, Brother Tony. I'm a Royal Arch Mason on the York Rite next month. I'm going to receive my 4th through the 14th, 15th through the 18th. I joined the Scottish Rite under United National Supreme Council. Greetings and congratulations on that journey. Greetings and congratulations on that journey, my brother. I'm telling you, have fun, enjoy the journey. I want anyone, and you've often heard me say this before, I want you to enjoy Freemasonry. Get all you can out of it. Enjoy it to the fullest. I don't give a hoot of what jurisdiction you're in. If you're able to travel and enjoy Masonry, man, do it. It is beautiful. Last month, I had the privilege of going to the convention for PHO under the leadership of Brother Tyrone Montgomery. I had a wonderful time to be there amongst those brothers. This is a first. That was a first to be able, a member of the Most Worshipful John G. Jones Grand Lodge of California was invited to sit and to be part of the PHO National Convention out of Cleveland. First time it ever happened that I know of. And to be there and sit amongst those brothers and talk with their leadership in Masonry was truly an honor. It's truly an honor, you know. And I believe once we begin to understand Masonry, that is going to happen more often. Once you really begin to understand Freemason, that's going to happen more often. We can no longer be set up and be in your own little closet, your own little four corners. Masonry is bigger than that. And once you get there, you're going to be like, oh, man, I enjoy this. Absolutely, I enjoy this. That time is going to come. Absolutely. Okay. And I'm black. All right. Okay. All right. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. You know, this Junji Jones Research Lodge number 147 is just dedicated to Freemasonry and having an open conversation about everything in Masonry and what Masonry is and isn't. You know, what it is to me may not be the same for you. And what it is to you may not be the same for me, but in having that conversation amongst the craft, amongst the sisterhood, opens so many other doors to an individual who may be seeking or who may be looking to become a Mason or an Eastern Star. This is that avenue. So anyone is welcome to come on, join us, and be enlightened and having questions that they may want to ask. This is what we do. Oh yeah, he gets down like that, you know. So this is where that's at. So I got a few more minutes left. Anybody got any other questions they want to ask me? Maybe post it in the chat. Yeah, let's get that done. Let's get that done. I'm here to upgrade DNA. Oh, I like that one. You've been listening to my boy. What's his name? What's the guy name? Talk about the DNA all the time, or the Anunnakis. Carson. Is it Carson? What is his name? Oh, I could think of as Carson. English, my brother. I'm sorry. Billy. Yeah, Billy Carson. He have me rolling. He does. Some of the stuff is pretty interesting. It makes me go back and read again. And some of them I'm like, nah, come on, Billy. Man, come on now. You're doing too much, Billy. You're doing too much. Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, you're Hindu. Oh, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming in. I hope anything that I'm saying here tonight inspires you in such a way that you may have an interest in Masonry. Maybe you're already a Mason. I'm not sure. You know, this is what this channel is really all about. And we're willing to have the conversation with anyone. Anyone. It doesn't even matter, because it's not about an aha moment of, oh, I got you in a situation. It's about enlightenment. It's really about enlightenment. It's about me helping you to become a better Mason. It's about you helping me to become a better Mason. And in the process, we both elevate. Which episode was the Albert Pike trial? Oh, I know what you're talking. I don't know which episode it was, but I can recall Albert Pike being a Confederate soldier, and he was meeting with the president at the time. And they was talking in both of them was Masons, and they were actually talking in regards to what was happening during this time of war. I remember vaguely about that, but yeah, man, you got me want to go back and search that episode out now. You got me want to go back and look, bro. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I'm curious. A silly question. Do Masons discuss, wait a minute. You know what? Some may discuss that. I think you said the Shabi temple. Some may. I'm not sure, and it's not a silly question because hell, I don't even know the answer to that one. I personally don't. Is that Sheba's? Is that Sheba's temple, or just Solomon? And I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask you why, because you say you're curious in regards to Mason discuss Sheba's temple or just Solomon's. The translation within Freemasonry changed, because before Solomon it was Moses. Okay, before Solomon it was Moses. Moses was Solomon at one time, and now it's Solomon. So that whole story within the legend of Freemasonry has changed. I'm going to say this again. Before the story was Solomon, as we know it today, it was Moses. Absolutely. In the old Masonic rituals, it was Moses. I'm telling you what I know because I got some old rituals. And they talk about Moses instead of Solomon. I'm just saying. I'm dealing with you from your cellular activity. Okay. All right, let me see what else I got here. You hit that one. Thank you. Been trying to find an episode. Man, I couldn't tell you about that. That episode has, I don't even know, man. I've done quite a few, so I couldn't tell you. I just know a little bit about that episode. Strikes me now when you're talking about Albert Pike and him being a Confederate soldier. He was talking to the president and how they worked out a deal and how he was exonerated from his crimes doing while he was a soldier. I remember that vaguely. Sheba comes up more in the Queen of the South. Thank you, there, Grandmaster Larry Diamond. That's why you a mediator, a moderator. That's why I got you, brother. Appreciate you. Do you have a video on the Purple House? Now, let me say this here. In some jurisdiction, the Purple Houses are 33rds. In some jurisdiction, it may be the LOP. So when you say the Purple House, what degree are you referring to? I need to know that. Queen of the South would probably be that one. Oh yeah, the Queen of the South, that's a good degree. Absolutely it is. Yeah, the story changes. I'm telling you, before it was King Solomon, it was Moses. You have now, you remember you have St. John the Baptist, St. John the Evangelist. It wasn't always them. It was Aaron. It was Aaron and somebody else. I'm gonna have to go back and look, but it was Aaron and another person who represented the St. John's as we know them today. Okay. And Moses was Solomon. I'm telling you based on old rituals that I have. Okay. Oh, the Royal and Select Master. Okay. I wasn't for sure. And that's on the York right side. Is that the Royal and Select Master? I think that's on the York right side. Right after the Royal Arch degree, you have that degree. If I'm not mistaken. When you said Purple House, man, I was thinking, I was actually thinking 33rd LOP, because in some jurisdiction, as I said, it's purple and gold. It is. I've seen it. And I'm like, okay, just trying to, find out where you was at. All right. Brother Tony, do you have recommended readings? I'm looking to go to the Red House and also the Shrine. All right. So your Red House is the Royal Arch and the Shrine, right? Am I on? Eddie, is that right? If that's right, let me know if that's correct. Your Red House is the Royal Arch degree and also the Shrine, right? There are not a lot of books out there on Shrindom. However, there are quite a few lectures out here on Shrindom. So I can get you those lectures if you hit me up. And once again, the email is going to be jgjafam@yahoo.com. If you hit me up, Eddie, definitely I can send you lectures on the degree work, because there's not a lot of books on Shrindom, but there's some books on the Royal Arch. Hold on, I'm gonna share a book with you on the Royal Arch. All right. I didn't see it up in there. I didn't want to take a long time looking. I just briefly went and looked. I didn't see it, but I'm going to share with you this particular book right here. This is a good book to get. Okay. This is called Masonry in its Symbols. All right. in the Light of Thinking and Destiny. All right, it's a good book to have. It's a good book to read. And this book is dedicated to the members of the ancient, free, and accepted Masons. So I think once you get into this book, yeah, it is one that would get your attention. This book here on symbolism and masonry, it'll get your attention. Get that one. Get it. Okay, Game of Knowledge would be a good one. Yeah, you're right. That's a good one. Not sure I can say this, but I was the Grand Worthy Matron in the Masons and Eastern Star Youth Organization in Louisiana. You can say it. What's wrong with that? You was the overseer for the youth department. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing. Congratulations. Let me give you a hand clap on that. Congratulations. That's a lot. Let me tell you, to be over the youth department, it's tremendous. And I will tell you this, that will probably help you also. When those young ladies and those young boys, when they become 18, don't tell them that they can't become Masons till they're 21. What you need to do is filter them on in as Masons. If you got youth in your department, when they get 18, they graduate high school, you go right there and say, okay, it's time for you to become a Mason. Don't tell them, okay, wait till you become 21, 20. Get them then. Don't wait till they become 19. Get them young men then. They're in your youth department. You know who they are. Grab them. Don't let them go, because the streets are waiting on them. Okay? The streets waiting on them. That's how we're going to be able to keep our youth and our young individuals who are in our youth department. Don't tell them once again, oh, you got to wait till you 20. You got to wait till you 21. No. If you can go serve your country at 18, you can become a Mason at 18. That's my personal opinion. We don't have that limit. No. If I found a young man who's interested in Mason and he's 18, and he's talking about he needs some mentorship, he's trying to get his life together. Oh yeah, let's do this. I'm not waiting. I'm not asking. I'm not waiting. Let's do it. Let's get this work in. Absolutely. Too many times we wait on our young African-American males, nigga, whatever. We wait. And we don't have to wait. I don't know why. Who told us we had to wait? No. We have a youth department, and once that kid graduates high school, yes, your next step is to become a Mason. Absolutely. In my Masonic journey, I decided to go back to school at the age of 50. Shit. Doggone Skippy, man. What's your field of study? And congratulations. Absolutely. You know? As a matter of fact, I just finished taking my ACLS. That's acute corner. Let me make sure I say this. Let me make sure I say this right. All right. I want to butcher it up. Acute cardiovascular life-saving, ACLS. There you go. Acute cardiovascular life-saving. Woo, man, that's a tongue twister for me. Excuse me. Let me see. Operational management. Congratulations. Congratulations. Do that. Man, do it. You know, nothing wrong with that. What's going on, Grandmaster Noble? Grandmaster Noble, it make no sense. What's going on, Grandmaster Diaz? How you doing, my good brother? How you doing? I hope that you're well. I hope your jurisdiction is thriving. You know, greetings to you. I hope, man, look, you know you're in my prayers, brother. You know, so that's real talk. Keep doing your thing. Keep thriving. Keep pushing the envelope a little bit, you know. Don't push it off the table. Just push it to the edge, you know? Absolutely. No doubt about it. So tonight, we've been on for about an hour and 9 minutes here. So we talked about the 33rd tonight. So I'm just here entertaining questions right now. So if there's anything someone wants to ask, you want to bring up, you're certainly welcome to do so, and we can make it happen. Oh, minor in liberal arts? That should be a good one, right? That should take you back to your fellowcraft degree. I'm just saying, you know, I'm just saying. Oh, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. That means a lot. That means a lot. Absolutely, it means a lot. You know, to be the example of someone who wants to be a Mason, that should mean a lot to the person. Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming in tonight. Look, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. It's late. I don't know exactly what time it is. It should be almost 9 o'clock my time, thereabouts. But on the East Coast, I know it's late. So look, to everyone who tuned in tonight, I hope that you go back and watch the beginning of this before we get into the chat first. And I'm quite sure you'll get something out of it. But until then, whatever you do, stay out the bushes, keep your light on. Do me a favor, please hit the like button, hit the thumbs up button. I would love for this channel to get way up there, you know, into the higher numbers. I would love it. Please pass it on. Share it with someone. If you think this channel has added something to your Masonic journey, share it with someone and have them to subscribe to the channel. I certainly appreciate that. And let's move together. Until next time, peace and be well. And may God continue to bless you as he's blessed me. Peace and be well. I'm out. There you go.